I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 2nd, 2015. The IDF conducted a number of security raids overnight last night in the West Bank in the Ramallah area, in particular in the village of Chizmeh. The IDF spokesman's unit noted the sweeps were due to an increase in unorganized violence by residents of the village. 11 security suspects were arrested there, and soldiers also found firearms, ammunition, military equipment, and other weapons, as well as printed material that incited to violence. 28 more security suspects were arrested in other parts of the West Bank as well overnight. And this morning, Israel police joined the IDF in a security operation in East Jerusalem, where the home of a terrorist who killed a 17-year-old yeshiva student and a 38-year-old border police officer was demolished. The home was that of Hamas operative Ibrahim al-Akari, who intentionally drove his car into two groups of people, including the victims, at the Shimon HaTzadik light rail stop in Jerusalem last November. Home demolitions are used by the IDF as a deterrent to commit terror attacks. A court in northern Germany ruled yesterday that a former Nazi sergeant who served at Auschwitz-Birkenau is fit to stand trial. The 95-year-old German man, who is referred to as Hubert Z., is accused of assisting in the murder of at least 3,681 people at the death camp, where he served from October of 1943 to January of 44. And while he is not accused of having been directly involved in any killing, prosecutors say Hubert was aware of the camp's function and that by being a part of its structure, he consciously participated and accelerated the deaths of thousands. The Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum and Memorial is recognizing an American World War II veteran for saving Jews. Master Sergeant Roddie Edmonds of Knoxville, Tennessee, was the highest-ranking non-commissioned officer held in a German POW camp, who, despite a pistol being held to his head, stood up for his fellow American Jewish captive soldiers, refusing to identify and be separated from them. Edmonds, who died in 1985, is being posthumously recognized with Israel's highest honor for non-Jews who risked their lives to save Jews during World War II, the righteous among the nations. He is the first American serviceman to earn the honor. Yad Vashem chairman Avner Shalev said Edmonds had, quote, an extraordinary sense of responsibility and dedication to his fellow human beings. Shalev said the choices and actions of Master Sergeant Edmonds set an example for his fellow American soldiers as they stood united against the barbaric evil of the Nazis. The New York City Police Department's Hate Crimes Task Force is investigating an alleged anti-Semitic assault that took place on Manhattan's Upper West Side. According to reports, the manager of the West Side Judaica and Bookstore, named by JP Updates as 52-year-old Salman Salzer, was punched in the face by a man who also is said to have yelled anti-Semitic threats at him on Monday afternoon. The Anti-Defamation League said it was deeply disturbed by the alleged anti-Semitic assault. ADL New York Regional Director Evan Bernstein said he was glad the task force was investigating it as a potential hate crime. Bernstein said the NYPD's response to anti-Semitic incidents across the 5 boroughs has been exemplary, adding that we are confident NYPD will examine all the facts, including the perpetrator's alleged remarks, to determine whether the attack was indeed motivated by anti-Jewish animus. A synagogue in Canada has opened its doors to the local Muslim community there after a mosque in the area was set on fire. Molotov cocktails were thrown into Masjid al-Salah, the Mosque of Peace, in Peterborough, Ontario, shortly after the terror attacks in Paris. The mosque is the only one in the city, and following the hate crime, Beth Israel Synagogue in Peterborough invited Muslim worshippers to pray there. President of the Kawartha Muslim Religious Association, Kenzu Abdullah, said, "We have more similarities than differences. At the end of the day, it is a house of God." The White House announced that U.S. Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas will deliver the keynote remarks on international cybersecurity cooperation at the annual meeting of the U.S.-Israel Business Initiative, which is coming up this Friday in Washington, D.C. The meeting is hosted by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the Embassy of Israel. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight, Wednesday, December the 2nd. On JBS at 7 o'clock, actor Tony Bianco hosts a Jewish community commemoration of the legacy of Yitzhak Rabin on the 20th anniversary of the Prime Minister's assassination. That's a program of the Consulate General of Israel from the Temple Emanuel Skirball Center in New York City. At 8 o'clock, a discussion of Jewish journalism with Kevin Adelstein of the Cleveland Jewish News, Craig Burke of the Mid-Atlantic Media, Ami Eden of Seven Faces Media, Sue Fishkoff of Jewish News Northern California, and Andrew Silow-Carroll of New Jersey Jewish News, with Marshall Weiss of the AJPA. At 9 o'clock, Amir Tibon, who is diplomatic correspondent for the WWII news agency, and Yaakov Lapin, who is the military analyst for the Jerusalem Post, give analysis of the Iran nuclear deal, the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, President Obama's foreign policy, and the fallout from the strained Obama-Netanyahu relationship. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 2nd, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.